They work together towards getting a system done. How many of you consider yourselves to be highly organized? Okay, good. That's good. So get a system down. I'm paper and electronic. I use Outlook, and I'm also paper-based because I keep a journal on everything. So every time I have a discussion with any client, how many of you keep a record of every discussion you ever have with a client? Right? I kind of have to in my world. But if I was on a sales call, I have my little journal, and after I walk out of the sales call, if I showed a house, I would write down the 3 or 4 things they liked and the name of the person and the property I showed them. And I would do that over and over and over and over again, because otherwise you forget. And if you're, how many of you have trouble sleeping at night? Why?
Thinking about what I have to do tomorrow.
It's in your head, right? Yeah. Versus written down. Write it down, commit it to paper. I used to be a terrible insomniac till I read in the Franklin course, write it down and forget it. So, ask questions and constantly work at growing themselves. The most wonderful thing, I mean, how many of you spend $500 a month on books? Approximately. Okay, I do at least, and it's usually $700. The brightest young lady I've had the pleasure to meet in the last year, who I think is just a genius, I don't know how old she is, Kim?
Probably late 20s, early 30s?
Early 30s maybe, and she just sold, and it's public, I'm not saying, she just sold her company for $30-some million, and she still goes to work every day, and she's kicking butt. She reads about 5 to 6 books a week to improve herself. I'm at 3 to 4, okay? I'm trying to catch up to her and be as good as her. So always trying to learn and improve. After a sales call, reflect on what you did, write down notes, and I just call it the journal. I carry around a little book like this, and it's my today to-do list. It's just a system I use. Anyway, they look like this. I have a leather binder around it, and every day it's my to-do list. Outlook tells me when my appointments are, and then I keep notes on every appointment I go in, and I've done this for 30 years. So this is last month's book, okay? So it's just a system of organizing yourself. Any of you that have pads like this, what I would challenge you is, they don't write books like that, and you lose stuff. So I like the little bound books, and I just keep them, and I use one a month, and I file it away. So it's, I can go back 30 years. People laugh about this, and I can say, we were in a meeting on December 24th in 1991, and this is what you said. It's just fun. Messes with people's heads, right? And they go, really? You're kind of a freak. Do you know Steve? No.
I've got a guy in Survivor Line, Jordan, who keeps a journal, and I was just talking to him. He's got it for the last 7 years.
Yep.
And I thought, man, that's kind of an interesting.
You know, it's fun to go back. I went back and looked at my business plan from 1990 for the company I just joined. I was VP of sales. They gave me some equity to run it, and I wrote a business plan, and it was actually typed. It was pre me using a computer. I got my IBM ThinkPad the next year. So I typed out my business plan. It was 5 pages long, and I projected the revenue for the next 10 years in the business. And the business had never been more than $2 million in revenue in its prior 21 years in business. And we were $30 million within 4 years, and $120 million within 10. But I wrote it down. I can go back to that year in 1990 and look at that business plan and show it to people. And it's fun, because it just gave me something to live up to, you know. Have a high opinion of themselves, but not too high. Being confident is one thing. Being cocky is another, right? Yeah. So confidence comes across. It's good to be confident. It's bad to be cocky. It's good to understand who you are. But to get past rejection, boy, you get rejection a lot in this business, and you've got to be able to deal with it mentally. You've got to be mentally tough. And successful salespeople visualize and believe that success is attainable. They really do that.